Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made these arch pieces. These are all made out of XPS foam, so they are quite delicate, but they're for gaming and display purposes. So I made 3 of them. I've just got these 2 here for now. The other one is down there. There it is. So I'm going to show you how I made these with my homemade circle cutter. It's used for the Proxon hot wire table or any other hot wire table. I am designing my own and getting that cut very soon, which will be available. I think I'll have to discuss it with my supplier, but I'm making my own to get it a bit more accurate, get it a bit more looking nicer to the eye. Mine's literally just a large piece of Foamex board with a nail shoved in it with a load of marks with pencil, so it's not massively accurate, but the one I make out of laser, when it's laser cut MDF, will be a lot more accurate and a lot easier to use, hopefully. So yeah, I'm just going to take you through the process of how I create these, cut the pieces and glued them together, etc. These are individual pieces. I could have made it in one piece and then scored, but I would have ended up snapping them, so made them all individual pieces and then painted it. This has got quite a good reception on my social media. So my Instagram account, at White Shark Gaming Studios. Facebook as well. I share on there sometimes into some of the groups, but I post as myself there. But yeah, I'm very pleased with these. They've come out quite well. They do look otherworldly, but sometimes might be looking slightly sci-fi, futuristic. I've been told that they resemble Stargates, bits of Temple from Halo. I've never played Halo. I've seen Stargate, obviously, but I always thought Stargate was the big thing with the symbols around it. I could be wrong. I've not seen SG-1 or anything like that. I've only seen the film. But yeah, they're pick your sci-fi or fantasy trope, and arches are always going to be within it, so I figured I'd make some and give it a go. So I'm going to flick to the video now, show how I made it. I'm going to do a narration over it, so I really hope you like it, guys. As always, please like, subscribe and share if you can, if you think it's a decent video. And yeah, I'll get onto the video. Thanks very much. Right, here you can see me using my homemade circle cutter. As I said, large piece of large piece of Foamex board, pencil marks and a nail shoved through it. So I'm just taking a large chunk of XPS foam and moving it around to create those cylinders, and then I will roughly cut the cylinders into segments. So I've tried to go 8 to create a complete circle. And here you can just see me, I'm just taking off the edges ever so slightly, and then I'm shaving them down into groups. See, I've got 5 different sizes all here. There's the largest there. And they all make these circles here. They won't be perfect because the hot wire cutter will melt a certain segment of the foam. I think it's 0.2 to 0.4, depending on how hot you have it. I made some straight pieces as well, so that they can go on. Once I've cut them, I put them in a box of rocks to shake them, and that just rounds off all the edges and leaves them with dents in them, and it picks up the washes and the paint quite nicely when you dry brush. You see from the edges there, they're nicely rounded off. I keep them in the segments in this box just so I can tell which one's which, because sorting through them is an absolute nightmare. Some of them are a little thicker than others, so when you see me build it, you'll see me choose specific ones rather than others, and that's just because of my own stupidity. Now I've got some Foamex board and I'm planning out the build. Nothing was written down or planned for this. I'm just planning and winging it as I go along. You see I've got my trusty hot glue gun out and I glue the pieces together. And I glue several. I'm doing the large arch here, the completed arch over. Yeah, there we go. And it twists over. And I cut the bottoms off, nearly square, not quite, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to put grass and sand around it anyway. I made these brickwork pieces off camera by using the remaining piece of foam from the centre of the cutouts and just slicing it and then cutting out these sections, as you can see. 2 of them have got that as the broken arches and the complete arches. The ones that look like some form of hood don't have it. So yeah, I only made 2 of these. I quite like them. I think they give something. It's like it's an offering plate or a meeting place or something. One of them's completely ruined, like the broken arch one. But yeah, so here you go. You can see me offering up the pieces. Now I probably should have cut the Foamex before I did this and planned it around the piece of Foamex itself, because I feel once this one's cut out, I feel it myself now, even though it's painted and complete, I still feel it's slightly too large. It could have been thinner. But yeah, so if you can see me just adding these in, I just put these up and down as I go. As it happens, I only used 2 in the end. I didn't use the 4. But I think they give it something extra as well, as if something's missing. These could be offering columns where you put candles or something, or skulls even. It's something that I can add at a later date if needed. Right, here we go. This is me creating the... Oh yeah, in the background there, sorry, I've created the complete arch, the broken arch. And this is me creating what we'll call the concertina arch. So I've created this large arch there, cut the bottoms off at an angle, and then I try and reverse it so that it looks like these will all go together if they're moved. So you can see that there, it goes quite nicely. These ones are slightly more, they're slightly different than the others. The other ones have a very fantasy vibe. This one has quite a lot of a sci-fi vibe. I think if you've seen the Matt LeBlanc Lost in Space villain, he has a hood that has very much metal rings like that with a hood going over it. I only realised that afterwards. But here's my plaster and sand and glue mix. This stuff sets up really quickly. I use dental plaster, not plaster of Paris, because it gives a nice rock hard finish, and it does set remarkably fast. This one was a little bit too smooth. You'll see that when I come to paint later. The other two have a little bit more texture to them than this one, but I fixed that with the painting and the grass work anyway. So I'm just pouring on the sand again. I just use builder's sand, and I sift out the builder's sand into 3 different sizes as per my saving money tips video on sand. And here we are, the usual Mod Podge and black mix. It's 1-to-1. I don't water it down. I just go over it very, very well, quite a few times with the brush to make sure there's no pooling and there's no drips anywhere. You do get quite a lot out of your brush here, so I always scrape the brush on the sides and edges. It gives it a lovely matte feel to it once it's all done. They look quite nice black. As you can see, that one there is rougher on the texture base, and this one is super smooth. My plaster mix was quite smooth when I did that, so yeah, they do look quite nice in the black. Here we go, we can start painting them now. And this is the taupe again. This is a dark taupe. This is to tie it in with the other builds. So I'm going to whiz through this because this is basically the same painting scheme as the columns and the crypt that I created. It's all to tie in together. So this will have the taupe, the dark taupe, the taupe, and I'm not using Screaming Skull on this one. I'm actually using string, the colour string from Pebeo as well, mainly because it's a heck of a lot cheaper. It's cheaper than £4. So yeah, and I get a lot more in it. So there's me going over the bases, and again I'm using a Pebeo paint for that as well. It matches the Mornfang brown, and it's chocolate from Pebeo, so I thought, yeah, why not, I'll use that. Here we go. I'm just dry brushing here, going over it with the string colour. There we go. And then I've started doing the come on Ian, you got it. There we go. Agrax Earthshade again. Sorry. Started doing that on the edges, and what I've done here is I've selectively painted it on, so if water was going to trickle onto it, this was where it would pool and stay. Whether it's accurate or not, I don't know, but it looks effective, so I'm not too fussed about it. As you can see, I've dry brushed the groundwork again. Now I have used the Steel Legion Drab and the Carrick Stone on the dry brush for that, because it's literally just a very small bit of dry brushing, and I don't mind using the GW stuff for that, even though it's very expensive. Here I have done a very light wash over the stonework with my own brown wash. There's many different ways of creating it on YouTube, so yeah, go and search one of those out. They're really simple to do. I did a rather deep wash on the mud and a thin one on the stones. I've also gone in, as you can see there, with the green I use. It's a very light green for this. I wanted it to be quite stark, but that's gone in there quite nicely as well. I did also use the Athonian camo shade in the recesses, but that's just to give it a bit of depth. Here we are. I wanted to go a little bit more ham with the moss and the grass than I did on these, but I ran out of the moss. This is Gamer's Grass moss. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. I am not sponsored to say that. I just think credit where credit's due. It's wonderful stuff, and I will be placing another order very, very soon. I need a lot more moss and a lot more grass. Here we go. There they are in all of their glory. I'm really, really pleased with them. I just need to edge the bases in black, which you will see in the shots shortly. But yeah, the rocks will also be painted very shortly in the next video. Again, it's just a case of 3 different greys with an Agrax Earthshade wash and then dry brushed. It's very nice and simple. Here we go. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Please take the time to like and subscribe if you can. Leave a comment, thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you liked the video. Hopefully you'll tune in for the next one. See you again.